New and interesting products today from Benefit has 2 new products to share, and Glossier as well. Today with me, Rebecca. I am a fashion and beauty editor who has spent more than 20 years working in the journalism side of fashion and beauty, interviewing, following around, and writing about some of our favorite characters from this industry. And that has given me the idea to bring Not Fit for Print Beauty, not in print anymore, but digitally, right here to YouTube, so that you can have a sort of beauty magazine, digital one, to look through every day or so. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. There are timestamps below in case you are in a hurry to see a particular product. I was really kind of snowed under with new products for a while. It looks like, famous last words, but it looks like it's kind of slowing down a little bit. So that will enable me, that will give me the ability to do some roundups, some thoughts on products I've reviewed already. Things slow down, I can catch my breath a little bit, but we do have a few new things to look through. Benefit, for instance, Benefit and Glossier. So Glossier, we're going to look at their new lip glosses. They have introduced new lip gloss hydrating cooling sheer lip oils, actually. Heaven forbid I said lip gloss. It's this one they're calling a lip oil. Those are kind of merging into one another, but we'll talk about those in a moment. I also want to talk about Benefit because Benefit is one of those brands a lot of us don't look to for new cosmetic products, but so many of us rely on them for brow products, for mascara products. There's certain Benefit products that are, dare I say, even iconic, but every release doesn't get as much attention. They have 2 though that people are taking notice of. So let's talk about them right now and try them on. And I also want to show you them outside in the warm California sunshine if you are a Benefit fan. Quickly though, I do want to talk about the Glossier Lip Glaze. As I told you, it's called the Lip Glaze Hydrating Cooling Lip Sheer Oil. It comes in 6 shades and is $22. Boy, everybody has a lip oil out there, and you're going to laugh because these are not necessarily the shades. I bought 2 out of 6, and these are not necessarily the shades I would have chosen. What I honestly did was give the little order thing on Sephora over to my daughters, who are teenagers, and I let them choose because they're going to them. I am just up with lip oil. So right now I am wearing the shade Frosty. That's this kind of lilac shade right here. It's really pretty, isn't it? I'll put on a little more so you can see it. Then we're going to change, then we'll change it around, and I'll try on this shade Creamy for you, which was my oldest daughter's choice because that's going to her pretty much right after I film with it. I usually try to keep things around for comparisons and whatnot. This is just another lip oil. Now, that's not denigrating the product because $22 for high-end beauty isn't bad. And a lot of you are really big fans of Glossier. This is supposed to be a cooling sheer lip oil, which is kind of interesting. They're calling it a scoop of gelato for the lips. Gelato, say no more. They're calling it a chilled glaze. I don't really feel the chill. When they said chilled glaze, what I thought of it first, and I'm glad to be sharing this with you if you're a Glossier fan. Here is the shade Frosty. That's that lilac shade that's really popular right now. I wouldn't have bought this if I'd just been reading it because cooling, I thought it meant one of those that enlarges the lips through a cooling feature. You can go like hot like a cinnamon, or you can go cool like a spearmint, but it makes the lips tingly. I mean, gosh, maybe I'm not feeling it anymore. Maybe I feel a slight cooling. I'd have to search for it. It feels more like air on the product. And this is very pretty. And like I said, nothing wrong with $22, but there are 6 shades. I picked 2 out of the 6. And in a moment, we're going to try on Creamy, which is the shade my daughter picked. But while I have Frosty on the lips, we'll give it a test to make sure it doesn't migrate to the corners. I hate that about a lip oil. And I have had so many people in comment sections be like, Rebecca, a lip oil is this, and a lip gloss is this. But those terms are really kind of merging. And we even have some brands now saying that they have a lip oil gloss or a lip gloss oil, because that's just kind of admitting defeat. We don't even know what to call them anymore. This does feel like a traditional oil. It's not as thin as some lip oils, but It's definitely got a thinner, shinier, more hydrating nature, and that's really pretty. I do generally like to wear my lip oils with a little bit of a liner, either coloring the whole lip in, or if you're like me and you like that kind of, you know, slightly deeper liner, I do like that kind of two-tone ombre look. You can do that as well. But in this video, I'm just wearing it as it comes. Okay, for those of you that are here for the Benefit products, let's talk about it. So Benefit has a powder blush that, you guys, is iconic for its inconvenience. So this is the new shade Blossy. Now, if you are old school beauty, you know these little cardboard boxes that Benefit puts their products in. And the funny thing about them is that they used to be smaller. This is a little bit bigger, but they're recessed, and sometimes a lot of people say really tough to get your brush into. But we got a little mirror in this one. I don't think, was there always a mirror in my other Benefit blushes? I'm gonna have to look. But at any rate, you know, they've kept that, which I like the commitment to the retro aspect of it. We used to complain about it, but it's like, you will complain, you will like it. You will complain, but you won't do it loudly, because we all wear these blushes. Their blushes are actually beautiful. But anyway, this is the new limited edition shade Blossy. It is $33, and it's that silky, soft powder that we all love from Benefit. Although it always has like that floral fragrance, which is kind of gross, but it goes away really quickly. Look, it sounds like I'm attacking them. I'm not. They were what we had for blushes back in the day. This is what you had. And they were smaller boxes than this even, and you fit your brush in there somehow, and you were grateful. Anyway, it looks like they have about 12 shades of these now, but this is kind of the upgraded model. This is a warm apricot using freshwater pearl, and they say synthetic sapphire to make it nice and smooth and pretty. This is the latest. The reason I wanted to feature this, though it's just a shade extension, two reasons. Number one, it is limited edition, and we're going to take it outside and see it in a moment. But number two, it's like the latest in a lot of these kind of neutral apricot shades. This really reminds me of that toffee shade in the Dior, although I think it's going to go a little bit more orange on me. I loved that toffee shade in the Dior, but I do have a viewer who told me that since that Dior is supposedly pH changing, it went like a crazy color on her, which is disheartening because I really like that toffee on me. But a lot of like apricot blush releases lately. This is going a little bit neutral apricot. I am a light medium neutral skin, but I mean, this is definitely apricot-y. We had a new, what did I review the other day in an apricot shade, which I really liked more than I thought I would. That was a new release and a new shade from YSL that was also in this kind of apricot-y color, and I ended up loving it on me. You know, the thing is, you guys, I keep talking about how I'm attracted to cool tone shades, but they don't necessarily look good on me. And I think I'm just going to have to go with that as a truth for myself, that these warmer shades, I look at an apricot shade like this and I go, nah, but when I put it on, they do suit me better than, say, a hot or a cool pink or something like that. Maybe I'm just going to have to admit defeat. So there it is, very over applied. This one is not pH adjusting, so you should get what you get, but it is going to take what your undertone is and such on your skin. I think that's actually really pretty. Very, very pretty. So that is the limited edition Blossy shade, B-L-O-S-S-Y, $33 in the tried and true Benefit blush, which it's iconic. We all love it. And in fact, I can even take a little bit. You know I love to do this. Everything is a face palette to me. We can even take a little bit on this Rephr number 2 brush and just kind of put it on the eye a little bit. It's not showing up a ton on my skin, but that subtlety of that kind of apricot shade, if I may be so bold to step out on a bit of a prediction here, after all the blushes we've had that looked like, you know, my joke, it looks like you put them on too much and you haven't even touched it, the products across the room. And now we have these where this is really over applied and it still doesn't really look over applied. Depends on your skin tone, of course, but we're going with a little bit, maybe some more subtlety coming back in the blush area. I don't know. But the brand new product to Benefit, not a color extension, but just new, is their brand new Glow La La Blurring Powder Highlighter. This little guy is $38, comes in 6 shades. I just bought one. I got a lot of highlighters. I just wanted to see if the formula was nice. And I just picked up the shade Luna, but like I said, there's 5 others. This has colors that correspond to your skin tone, and it's a baked powder product. And I bought the light medium. We got to see how this goes on me. I've been looking at highlighters so much, and I owe you guys a highlighter wrap-up video. I need to look at powder highlighters. I also need to look at I wanted to look at stick highlighters, not liquid, but like stick highlighters. So I've been promising that for a while, and then was just an avalanche of new products. But that's really pretty. I didn't like Prada and NARS because they were pink, like the Hermes, you know, the Rose Or Hermes. But the Rose Or Hermes retains its pinkness. With both NARS and Prada, when I put it on, it looked like this white glaring stripe, and I was shocked by it, and I didn't love it. So we'll see what this does. This is supposed to correspond to my light medium skin. So Benefit is doing this $38 product as if it's, you know, skin tone dependent. First of all, let's look at this blush and this highlighter outside in the warm California sunshine. There is, if you can see it out there because it's subtle, the Benefit Silky Soft Powder Blush in Blossy for $33, right next to the Glow La La Blurring Powder Highlighter for $38 in my shade, supposedly my shade, Luna. So that is the light medium shade, but there's 5 others. And of course, you know that there's a ton of other Benefit blush, but not all of them are limited edition like this Blossy shade. All right, let's take this Rephr number 4, which is one of my favorite highlighter brushes, and I will overdo it. Let's see if it stays warm or goes cool. Well, this one is staying warm. Good for me. If you have a skin tone that requires cooler shades, and you might not like that, this is the light medium one. This reminds me a little bit more of the YSL highlighters. But I think this is really pretty. I mean, it's going a little bit white as it reflects the light. But I think it's actually kind of sweet and pretty. Kind of what a highlight should be. Almost looks like a liquid, doesn't it? Let me put a little more on. Hey, this is pretty. If you wanted to treat yourself to a new highlighter, how much is this one? $38. Compare that to, in the US, Prada's $90 or 40 something that the NARS was. This is $38. I'm not saying it's cheap. But it's actually quite pretty, isn't it? Goes a little bit white on me, but nothing. Those look like I put a piece of white foil on my face. So I actually think that's really quite pretty. And I can take a Rephr number, let's see what this is, a number 3, and put a little bit of it even in here. That's really pretty on the eye. Look at that. Nice. Put a little bit of it with my finger, just on the lid. I end up liking all of these highlighter products more on the eyes than on the face, which is kind of funny. And now this just kind of gives me a pulled together, really simple look, which tends to be my favorite. And what comes around goes around happens to be kind of in vogue now. I really see a lot more subtlety in eye looks, subtlety in the cheeks right now, and these just lip oils on the lips. It's not really dramatic, impactful makeup isn't necessarily having a moment, unless it's a really bold lip, matte lip maybe, seems to be what's happening. Don't worry, you don't have to follow trends. It's just about what makes you feel pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and try our other Glossier shade, this scoop of gelato for lips. Here's the shade Creamy, especially chosen by my oldest daughter because she wants it for herself and won't like it. Watch. That's pretty. I knew I needed to get one that had a little bit more pigment. I am still not feeling any sort of weird or shocking cooling plumping sensation, so don't fear that. And no fragrance at all. No weird fragrance. They say like it's a gelato for the lips, but they didn't give it like a sugary scent. It's a good little solid product from Glossier. I mean, I feel like entering the lip oil market right now. It's a bit crowded. But those of you who are diehard Glossier fans will get this and you'll like it. I mean, look at that. That's a pretty lip oil. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not excited because it's just like, oh, another lip oil. So I hate to be jaded, but I admit I kind of am. But I think the best product up here is the this new Glow La La Blurring Powder Highlighter, because it's also, the other thing that's nice about it, guys, is it's really not emphasizing texture, which is hard to find with a highlighter. My problem, for instance, with the product, beyond just that $90 ridiculous price tag, was that it was just went too white on me, on my skin tone, and it just showed a lot of texture. So, you know, for $38, you can support Benefit and benefit from it being a lot easier to wear. You know, we all have texture on our skin. All of us have pores or texture that you might not even know about. You get the wrong product, there it is. It's going to be on display. So that, I think, is the most. The others here just kind of illustrate some trends that we have, which is more subtle blush and just real subtle lip oil. Is it a reaction to the economy? You know, like hemlines go up or down depending on how the economy is doing. That's an old adage if you haven't heard it before. I think with makeup too, we're not as glitzy as we once were. And I hear that nails are getting shorter and more simple as well as people pull back from really expensive manicure appointments. Again, am I telling you what to do with your personal style? Absolutely not. You do whatever makes you feel pretty, honestly. That is up to you. But I'm just telling you some wider industry trends that I'm noticing in case you would like to follow them, right? Okay, tell me what you guys think down below. I'll have all of this down below so you can either peruse it or order it in the description bar. And where I can, I try to put things up here in YouTube shopping so you can click while the video is playing and take a look. Take a look at the other shades of this highlighter. I think that's the standout product here. But also, it's not just about me yapping. It's about you guys talking to me in community, joining our community, making it bigger. Come over and join me on TikTok, on Instagram. We're on Facebook. You can join us there. We even have a membership here on YouTube where we do weekly lives, and I would love to see you there. So make sure you share and subscribe. So glad you were here with me today, and I look forward to you joining me in all the upcoming videos this week and beyond. We're almost at 25,000 subs here. So click that subscribe button if you haven't. Help me get there a little quicker. All right, bye-bye.